Hey everyone, this is Kat with Coopstar Cards and Team TCS. We are here with Big Dick Daddy, first place Columbus Regional Deck Profile.
Hey guys, what's up? I'm Clifton and I just won the Columbus Regional this past Saturday. There was a little over 500 people. I'm not sure how many people there were exactly, but it was a pretty crazy event. I have some funny stories that I'll tell later towards the end of this. But yeah, there were 10 rounds. It was really weird. They sat us down. We played the first 2 rounds. And then whenever we sat down for the 3rd round, I think, they came over the microphone and announced that due to late registrations, they were going to add a 10th round. I was like, bro, I don't even want to play 9. But somehow we made it through all 10. Before I get started on this boring Sky Striker profile, I'll do shout outs. Dude, shout out to like everyone in top 8. It was crazy. After standings, when everybody sat down, I knew everyone in top 8, which was kind of funny. Like we all knew each other. Shout out to Fabian. Shout out to Joe Bogley for working on the Sky Striker list. Shout out to Eli for driving. Shout out to Chester, even though he wasn't able to make it. Shout out to Michael State, Middle Cup gang. If you know, you know. And shout out to Kat for doing the deck profile. Then shout out to Team TCS, of course, for the amazing sponsor. And shout out to Paul Cooper, aka Coopstar Cards, for letting me put this on this channel. But yeah, let's get into this. 3 Ray, 3 Ash. This is the only hand trap I played besides Impermanence. These were Into the Voids, just to help boost consistency, cycle through your deck, and put spell cards in your graveyard. It wasn't bad, but Sky Striker's just a weak deck, you know? Going second, if your opponent puts up a pretty big combo or just overwhelms the field, this deck struggles to come back. And Sky Striker does a lot better in simplified game states whenever each player only has a couple of cards. So whenever you can use cards like this to bring the game state down from a really complicated one to like a simplified game state where if I just have a Ray or I can have just an Engage or a multi-roll bringing back cards and they just have access to a couple of cards, I'm going to win that game. So just having the extra negates and stuff worked out a lot. I'm really glad I played this over Into the Void. 3 Engage. I'll just speak to this stuff since it's pretty standard. 2 Cannon. I played Call by the Grave, so just 2 of this. 2 Area 0. Never missed the 3rd. You don't want to brick on it. Terraforming for this. Base. Jamming Waves. Afterburner. Eagle Booster. Some people don't play this card, but I use it a lot over the weekend. It's really, really good in the mirror, which is why I like this card a lot. Anchor. It's crazy how much, like, how good this card is, but at the same time, even though they put it to 1, I feel like I never need any more. I don't know, it's so weird. Multi-roll, and then the worst card. It's crazy how good this card is in other decks like Sky Striker Orcus, but honestly, it's probably my least favorite Sky Striker card, especially in the pure version. 3 Called by the Grave. This card's like cheating. It's so good against the decks. It's good against the mirror. It's good against any hand traps. Good against Salad. That match is pretty easy usually, but it's good against Orcus, you know, hitting all their cards. They try to summon a ding or something on your turn. You just hit it with Called by the Grave. It banishes from the grave. They use their symbol, and it turns it off on their turn. Just such a good card. And it's a spell, so. 2 Cosmic Cyclone. 2 was alright. 2 goods, and then the 3rd, or the fusion. Rhoda and Upstart. 3, There Can Be Only One. This is like the best floodgate ever. This is my favorite one. 3 Infinite Impermanence, just another hand trap. Good going second, good going first. And then 3 Solemn Judgment. This is like the MVP all weekend. Shout out to Bogley. This is like his favorite card, and I'm really glad I kept it in my deck when he told me to. It's really good going first. Stops a lot of power cards. Really stops evenly matched. That's one of the craziest things because a lot of people put that back in their deck, and it was really popular this past Saturday. But yeah, this stopped a lot of evenly matches and just a lot of clutch cards in general. Extra, 3 Shizuku, 3 Hayate, 1 Kagari, 1 kinda, never missed a second. 1's usually alright. Phoenix, Hida, Unicorn, and then Girsu just out weird problem cards. Boral Sword. You can still kill people if you have the Shark Cannons and the Anchor and stuff. Bomber, I made this card so much. This card is so good, especially with an Eagle Booster, if you can just protect it. Oh my gosh. And then 1 Dingirsu, in case you have to Widow Anchor one of their Galateas, or if you Shark Cannon it out of the graveyard, take it, and then you can slap a ding over it and send a card. Side deck, 3 Panker Tops. This card's amazing. Really good going second. It's huge. It kills something. You can tribute it off, pop a card. So not only does it answer problem cards, but it also clears itself. So then you can play your Sky Striker spells. 3 Lancia. This is just good against Orcust. You just skip their turn, and then most of the time you can take over. 3 Mind Control. This is probably the weirdest card in my side deck. I don't know what else I would change it with, but if I did change something, this would probably be the card. I mainly wanted to keep it in there for cards or for matchups like Thunder Dragon, since that matchup is almost unwinnable because of Colossus, unless you link it off, which is a funny story I'll get into later. But yeah, most of the time you can just Mind Control a Colossus or one of their problem cards, or even if you play against a deck like Pendulum or something that makes a huge unbreakable board, you can bait out their negates or something with a Mind Control. Then you can either link it away or just area 0 it away or roll it away. So this card was good. It's also a spell, and for some reason it's at 3, but yeah, it was good all weekend. But 3 Twin Twister, clear some back row, and then 3 System Down. This is just for Orcust. But yeah, that's all for the deck. I wanted to speed through that so I can get into some stories over the weekend. Just to add some like little flavor to it, since the Sky Striker profile is pretty boring. But yeah, this weekend was insane. Oh my gosh, Columbus, what were you guys doing this past weekend? I know weed is legal in Illinois now, but like, is it fucking legal in Columbus? Holy shit. Oh my gosh. So they finally start round 1. I sit down and play against Block Dragon BA. Round 1, game 1, my opponent goes first. He makes Saryuja, Avermax, Naturia Beast, Fossil Dyna, and Block Dragon. So I'm like, yeah, I lose this game. My opening hand is insane too, which I have triple engage, multi-roll, and foolish burial goods. This hand's insane, right? But he has a Naturia Beast. So I'm like, wow, I wasted this incredible hand that I'll probably never ever draw again because my opponent had Naturia Beast and he opened a really good field. So I was just about to scoop so he wouldn't know what I was playing. I look at my 6th card, Infinite Impermanence. So I draw Impermanent Naturia Beast and I killed him that turn because earlier on his turn he destroyed, so he paid half his life. I was able to clear his whole board and then do some Shark Cannon, Widow Anchor shenanigans, and I broke his board and killed him. That was really, really funny. Round 2, I played against, I think your name was Thomas, or Tommy. You were from Akron, Ohio. Super, super cool guy. He was playing Sky Striker Orcust. Unfortunately, he drew bad both games. And I like the Orcust matchup. A lot of people don't, but I really like playing against that deck with Striker, especially maining Column of the Grave and things like that. And Ash helps out a lot. I had that both games. He was a really cool dude. Shout out to him. That was a fun match. Round 3, I had a draw. I went 9-0-1. I had a draw, put against another guy I knew. His name was Logan. Basically, we just had a really long game 1 and then a really long game 2. It was a striker mirror, so what else do you expect? Round 4 is Draco. That matchup's pretty easy. Round 5, I think round 5 and 6 were pretty, I think those were pretty standard. Or no, round 6 I played the the Evil Eye guy. This is where the stories get good. So I was a little late getting to the round. I was probably about a minute late. So I was rushing to get to the table, and I get there and I sit down. And whenever I sit down, he has his extra deck face up on the table. And there was a Crusadia Regulex face up. And that's the Link 2, it's the lion, has like the up and down arrows. It's face up. So I sit down and I see it, and all of a sudden he quickly flips it over. And I was like, is this guy like trying to bait me? I was like, that's a pretty old trick, but whatever. Maybe he's either trying to bait me or maybe he was just not even thinking about it. Anyways, we play. He's playing Evil Eye, so I assume he just had the Regulix in his extra deck because he liked the card or something. He was playing Pot of Extravagance, so his extra deck was pretty much irrelevant. Anyways, I beat him. And then after the match, after we signed the slip, he looks at me and asks if I saw his extra deck face up whenever we sat down. And I was like, yeah. And I was like, I saw the Crusadia Regulex. And I was like, do you like that card? And he was like, no, but I left it face up intentionally so that you would think I was playing Crusadia, so that you would make me go first. And I was like, what? And he was like, yeah, it's a trick I've been using all day. And I was like, you know that's illegal, right? And I was like, you can't, it's illegal to give away private information like that. You can't sit down and give your opponent your extra like that. And he was like, what? No, it's not. So he didn't, first of all, he didn't even know that was illegal. And then second of all, he was like, if you thought I was playing Crusadia, why didn't you make me go first whenever you won the roll? Because I won the roll and I went first because obviously I'm playing Sky Striker. So I told him, I was like, first of all, obviously I'm playing Sky Striker, so I want to go first. And I was like, second of all, Crusadia is not a real deck. If you're playing Crusadia, I'm going to win anyways. So I told him that, and then he was like, wow, that's really bad. And then he just got up and left the table. So that guy was a very interesting character. But yeah, the stories get better. Next round, I believe it was round 7. It might have been round 8. I don't remember, but I play against Thunder Dragon. Worst matchup. So thank God I only played one of them. But yeah, we sit down. He creams me game 1. Like, I go first. I think I end on a Shizuku and an Infinite Impermanence and just pass. And then he goes, draw, activate alert, draw 2 cards, banish Roar, summons a Dark. And then he was like, normal summon Lupin, banish card, and just, he murders me. He has Thunder Dragon Fusion, everything. So I die. Game 2, I go first. I open all right, but I mean, still, it's Thunder Dragon. It's a really, really rough matchup, and my side deck is not really prepared for it. I just kind of invested other side deck spots into other decks that I thought I would see more, and just kind of accepted my L to Thunder Dragon. But yeah, so game 2, I go first, do my regular stuff, and during the end phase, I search a Widow Anchor with the Shizuku, and then pass to him. He opens extremely well once again, but thankfully he doesn't kill me. He leaves me at like 500 life points. But he has like a bunch of stuff. He does like the Battery Man Solar combo, everything. And he almost ends his turn with a Thunder Dragon Duo, a Battery Man Colossus, another random monster, and he has a Battery Man Solar, another random monster, Thunder Dragon Duo, and a Colossus up here in the extra monster zone. I can't remember what the other monster was, but another random monster. And I had a Shizuku, so I was able to live. And I have an Engage in my hand, and then the Widow Anchor, and then I think I have a Shark Cannon that was set or something that I couldn't use during the turn, and then some spells in the graveyard. And then he looks at me, and then he just links away his Thunder Dragon Colossus, his Battery Man Solar, and whatever monster he had left. He keeps the Thunder Dragon Duo. I don't know why he linked away the Thunder Dragon Colossus, but he did. He links them all the way, and then he puts the BLS link on the field and goes, I'll just summon this because Sky Striker doesn't have an out to it. Go ahead. I just looked at him and I was like, thank you. Draw for turn. So I draw for turn, look at the 2 engages in my hand, and just wondering why this kid just linked away a Thunder Dragon Colossus against a Sky Striker deck where 3/4 of my deck searches. So I just engage for another Shark Cannon, and then I draw off the engage, and then I sit there and I shuffle my hand for a little bit. And I'm sitting here thinking, and then he goes, I don't mean to rush you. I know you're at 500 life points, but I need you to make a play. And I was like, sorry, man, but I think I can kill you this turn. He looks at me and goes, your deck can't out the BLS link. And I was like, no, it definitely can. So I Shark Cannon a Phoenix out of his graveyard, Shark Cannon another card out of his graveyard, and then Widow Anchor his Thunder Dragon Duo. So I take all of his cards, and then I normal summon a Ray, make a Boral Sword, and then I leave the Thunder Dragon Duo, and then I take the Boral Sword, and then I ram it into his BLS link, activate its effect. He takes 3,000. I hit him for 28 with Thunder Dragon Duo, and then I use Boral Sword to switch the Duo to defense, and then hit him with 3,000 for game. You should have seen the look on this guy's face. I'm sorry if you're watching, man, but I don't know why you linked away Colossus. But yeah, it was pretty funny. And then he thought I couldn't out the BLS link, so it just made it so much better. And then game 3 is when things get really crazy. So he chooses to go first. I'm sorry if the stories are taking long, but he goes, normal summon a Lupin. He goes, activate effect. He banishes a Battery Man Solar out of his hand. I'm reading this as he either has a really weak hand or a bunch of normal summons, since he banished a Solar out of his hand and not a really powerful card like Hawk, Dark, or Roar or something. So I go ahead and Lancia him, since the banish is a cost and he doesn't get to banish the other card from his deck. And then he just passes his turn. I draw. I have another Lancia in my hand, 2 Ash Blossoms, and an Infinite Impermanence. Oh, he set a back row, by the way. And then I have an Engage. So I'm like, I have all these hand traps, but I'm really banking on this Engage to resolve. So I activate the Engage, of course, why wouldn't his last back row be Imperial Order? So, engage is negated. I pass my turn. He draws for turn, takes 700 off order. He normal summons another aloof Lupine, but this time he banishes Roar. So I'm forced to Lancia him again, so he doesn't banish another card. He uses the Roar effect when it's banished, and then I Ash it. So then he hits me with the 2 dogs for 3,400. He passes. I draw another random Sky Striker spell that I can't play because Imperial Order, but he does take 700. Then I just set an Ash Blossom, pass my turn, because Ash has 1,800 defense, the dogs only have 17. He draws, takes 700 for order. For some reason, this man goes, draw, finally, activates Pot of Desires, banishes the top 10 cards of his deck, and then reaches for his deck, and then we have to stop him and tell him that he can't draw 2 because of his own Imperial Order. He goes, oh, my bad. So then he attacks with the dog into the Ash. So he takes 100 life points. He passes. I draw, he takes 700. I pass again, still can't do anything. He draws, takes 700 again from order, and he draws for turn and goes, awesome, activate Allure of Darkness. I just look at him again. He reaches for his deck again. And I was like, what are you doing? He goes, what? And I was like, your spells are negated because of your own Imperial Order. I was like, we just talked about this last turn. He goes, oh my god, I messed up again. Puts it in the graveyard. Then he tries to link his 2 Lupines into a Nightmare Phoenix. I tell him he can't because Nightmare Phoenix takes 2 monsters with different names. He puts them back on the field, looks through his extra deck. Go ahead. So I finally draw Ray. He takes 700 from order. I normal summon a Ray, won't get off for Hayate, and then hit him for 15. He draws, takes 700 from order. He does some stuff that's just not enough. And then next turn I draw, and then can make another Hayate and hit him for 15 for game again. So, I most definitely should not have won that match, but it was very interesting to say the least. That was probably the craziest match of the weekend. The other matches after that, I played against Magical Musketeer. Knew what he was playing, so I won the roll, made him go first. His deck is made to go second, of course. He was maining like evenly, all sorts of stuff like that. And they want to go second because of Max. But yeah, I knew what he was playing, made him go first, so I was able to snag game 1, and then was able to beat him. And then the very last round, I played against Sky Striker Draco, which I like that matchup anyways. I also knew what he was playing, so I just made him go first. So then I get the extra card, and then I'm able to pick off all his cards with the Sky Strikers. And then if you can ever get the 2-for-1s with like Afterburner and Jamming Waves in matchups like that, especially the Mirror and like Sky Striker Draco, it's really beneficial. But that was a really good match. But yeah, the whole weekend was awesome. I'm glad I won. Yeah, shout out to everybody again. Shout out to TCS. Shout out to Coop again for letting me put this on his channel. Hopefully I didn't keep you guys too long. I hope you enjoyed my little stories in the deck. Hope you guys have an awesome day. Once again, I'll see y'all later.